Hi, I'm Mohammed Kamal. Let's hop onto the laptop and get started. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through how to add the base system flows. And also, I'm going to show you how we can add the flows, the next part of the flow. That is we're going to add the flow logic. So I'm going to walk you through on those. On the previous, we have created the trigger, what is triggering the flow, and also the actions, what will gonna happen. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open studio here. From the studio, like I said, we have two ways to access the flow designer. So one is through studio, so we're gonna go ahead and open the application, which is the social media management, and let's go ahead and open our, if you scroll down over here, we have flow, right? We have the social media response approval. So we don't need to create any one here. We already created, and we're going to continue working the one we created earlier. Takes some time to process. Then once that's done, I will show you. I'm just going to move it down a little bit so you can see it very well. Great. Like I said, we have created the trigger. Trigger is what is going to trigger, what makes this flow to be triggered, or what action is going to happen. The action. And we also put the action here. Then we have those two things. Let's see here. It looks like it wasn't saved. Perfect. So it is gonna be a good time for us to redo it again. So like I said, we always need to save, but here, okay, updated is going to be, the trigger is gonna be updated, and the table, and we have the monitor table right there, monitor table, and this gonna be for each unique change. This gonna be happen for each unique change. That is done, and we're gonna go ahead and open the action. So under action, we have action and the ServiceNow core. We're gonna go ahead and create. Now it's gonna be update record. All right, what is going to be update? Monitor record. The record, that's the one is going to be updated. You just need to drag from the data, or you can use the data peel over here. Then that's the table, it's already updated. Then what field is going to be updated? This what we did was state, all right, then state, all right, state approval requested. So that was the state. When the state was approval requested, what will happen? We need to click add field value. What will happen? So what we need to do is, okay, let's go ahead and get that. Change, I believe it is change. Complete, configure. So we have here state approval requested. That's the field I have. And then activity approval. Yes, we need to change the approval to requested. I'll check something here very quick, guys. Apology about that. Alright, let's go ahead and see here. So what happened? I have a little note here. Monitor, and then yes, state change to approval request. State approval requested. Alright, and then I don't think we need this one. I'll cancel out that one. State changes to field state. Yeah, that's what I have. State, then changes to what? Approval request. That's the trigger. Oh, under the trigger. Okay, approval request. Yeah, we didn't fill up the trigger. Are we update record? Monitor record. Monitor update. Then we have got, let's go ahead and open it. Updated. We have monitor for each. That's the monitor, and okay, we forgot here. Okay, so we have monitor. We have monitor here, that is the monitor, the table. Then here is the state, the trigger condition changes to true now. When the state changes to what? Approval request. approval requested በሚሆንበት ሰዓት ማለት ነው run for each unique change ይሆናል ማለት ነው። Okay, for each unique change. Great. In this episode, we're gonna go ahead and continue with what we left off earlier. Let's go ahead and check first our trigger. So under the trigger right here, we have monitor the updates. So it's going to monitor the updates. So you have the trigger which is updated whenever a record is updated in the monitor table, which is the monitor table right there. We have the social media monitor table. And when the state change to approval request, okay, then what will happen? If we have more new criteria, we can add this going to run trigger for each unique change. So you can select whichever you want based on requirement, but in our case, it's going to be for each unique change. I'm gonna go ahead and done. That's the trigger I completed. So the next thing with this, we have the action. Under action, which is the ServiceNow core action, this is the action we have. Update monitor, you have updated record. We're gonna get the updated record, and you pull monitor record, or you can use the data peel to drop it here. Okay, then once we do that, the next thing is we're gonna change the state. This is the state field to pending approval. Pending approval, that's what we need to change it to, pending approval. Awesome. That's all we need to do here, and we're gonna go ahead and done. So we have the trigger, that's the action we have. Now we need to click done and also save. If you're not saving, you're going to lose everything here. So the next thing, you can test. If you would like to test, you can test. If you have any record before, we test this one previously, and we make sure that it is working. Great. So you can see, if you want to look at how to test, you can see on the previous episode I've tested that down. Then with the workflow logic, the next thing is with the workflow logic. With the workflow logic, this is the logic. So what you need to do, you need to click over here, and now logic, flow logic. Okay, you have the flow logic. With this, you have like if else, for each, do the following. So what this do, let's say whatever trigger you have right there, you're gonna trigger the record. The action you have, what action is gonna happen, and then you can have if, for example, if, okay, this happen, or for each of these, and do this. That's what we need to apply the flow logic. So with the flow logic, you have a lot of different flow logics over here. You can read them. One, for example, call a flow logic. The one you can see right here, call a flow. This is a reusable existing business logic by running a published or a published workflow. Like if you have a published, an active workflow, you can use that one using call workflow. Call a workflow. So you can call a given workflow. That's what you need to do here. That's the purpose of that one. Do the following in parallel. This one, do the following in parallel. This is a branch to a flow into the block of action and also the subflows. So if you have that, you can use that. Sorry guys, there's a background noise. I'm gonna go ahead and close that. That's coming from Alexa. I'm gonna log in here. Sorry guys, let's see here. Okay, perfect. So with that, we have the end. This is the most important one. Don't forget, this is end. The end is to stop running a flow from within a conditional flow logic block. So if you have that, you need to use end, especially if you have a running. So you need to stop your workflow, or you need to stop your flow designer in some time, your action. If not, it will just continue running. Where you can see right here, the if, it apply one or more actions only when a list of conditions is met. You have like a list of conditions met, so you can use that, the if. And else if is something like same with the if, but else if else if is not happening, so this is going to happen, else if. You have also, if you want to do wait for the duration, make a decision, do the following. Yeah, so you have a lot of different options over here. Now I'm gonna show you a couple of ways to create like flow logic. One, for example, if you want to use the if, this one, let's say if you use a given record, and you can add, like I said, multiple different alternatives, so you can use it that kind of if. You can see if right there, and then the condition, you have the condition over here, let's say monitor record. Okay, you pull, drag and drop here the data build monitor record, trigger condition is monitor record, and is not, if it is not something over here. Okay, you get it right there. So if it's not something over there, the action will continue happen. Yeah, so for each the same thing. Now so on the base system we have the end, especially the one that I say earlier, the end, it's gonna help you to stop a given sequence of action, so it will help you to stop. Now we're gonna go ahead and add a flow logic to our social media response flow designer. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and add. So in this activity, what we need to do is we're going to configure the flow to request an approval from appropriate group based on their priority level in the triggering record. Yeah, so based on that, we can go ahead and, let's say if we have a P1 and P2 record based on their priority, the approval from the social media group, so you get the approval from that group. And if we have P3 and P4, the request approval from the social media analysis management group. So we can we'll go ahead and run and show you that one. So the first thing what we need to do add is an if action, so we can add an if. So used evaluation, so from the click here, we have the flow logic, and we're gonna go ahead and use the if. So if what, the condition, so we're gonna add priority is greater than or equal to 2 in the condition. So what we're going to do is if priority, so with that, that's the condition we have, priority is greater than or equals 2. Okay, if that is the one, now we're gonna drag and drop a data pill here. Data pill, we're gonna drag and drop the data pill, so to update monitoring and priorities. So let's go ahead and monitor record. First is the monitor record. We're gonna pull the monitor record. We have monitor record, and we have monitor record. We pull that monitor record. monitor record is one branding. So from here we can use one dash branding, one dash branding. Let's go ahead and see it here if we have that. And okay, update record. Right, monitor record, monitor record. So from the record, okay, I don't have that. Let's scroll down here. Let's get priority. That's what we need. Priority right there. We get priority. The trigger monitor record is monitor record priority. So what we need to do here is we're gonna use the driver update record. No, trigger record. From trigger record, okay. Wide, okay. So data feed, monitor record, priority, monitor record. Go ahead, priority to monitor record. That's it, priority. Trigger monitor record is trigger monitor record priority of what is trigger monitor record, trigger monitor record condition 1, trigger monitor record velocity için datalı trigger priority. Monitor record, monitor record, monitor record priority. Priority is Mensihon. Priority is trigger monitor record. So the first one, trigger monitor record priority is one branding, which is trigger monitor record priority is one branding بمیان بسات or and the second condition, we have data pill picker here. We can use the data pill picker, select monitor record, this one. Then, right, monitor record and priority, we get the priority from here. Okay, let's find priority. And now we can use priority. Then we're gonna use the drop down menu to set the condition. Okay, we have the drop down menu here. We can set the condition to widespread. So we have those two. Trigger monitor record priority is branding damage, or trigger monitor record priority is too widespread. That's how we set using the data picker, or we can use directly. Then by using, let's go ahead and verify what we have done so far. So we have priority is greater than 2. When the priority is greater than 2, that's the condition will happen, which is going to trigger the monitor record, and priority is branding damage. And then if trigger the monitor record is priority is too widespread, right, then that's what we have. We're gonna go ahead and done, and also save whatever we did so far. Now what we need to do, we're gonna go ahead and verify what we did so far. So in our flow, we should now have this, which is the monitor updated, that is the state change. We have the updated monitor, and we also have the one what we did, the ServiceNow core, which is if priority, the flow logic, okay, greater than or equals to, then what happened? Okay, that's what we have. Next tab, I'm gonna go ahead and configure the branch for P1 and P2. So we have got those branches, and we can configure those. We need to see that the flow now contain two branches here. There are two branches. One is going to down, all the way down, and there is another branch going to on the right here, this side. Okay, so that means there is some evaluation action must configure for both to be true or and also false. Now we can select the plus, this one over here, the plus, and then we can go ahead and add some action for this specific flow. Okay, we can add that. We can insert the ServiceNow core for that, and then we can go ahead and select ask for approval. The ask for approval, it creates an approval on any record. So what it would do, it will create an approval request in any configuration, ServiceNow configuration. So the rule set for approval. Yeah, so we can go ahead and click that. We can ask for approval. All right. So this is how we can ask for approval. So if you want to ask an approval, so let's go ahead and give it annotation over here. That's a great way to make sure your work is readable. From the social, from the social media management group. So that's an annotation we have. Now we got the record here. On the record, like I said, we can drag and drop it, which is monitor record. We have it right there at the top here. So if you leave it, then it's gonna go ahead and fill up for us. The trigger is monitor record, and it will fill up the table for us, which is automatically populated. Then the approval field is going to be approval, which also automatically populated in the journal field, which is the history, the approval history. We'll have that Now we're going to configure the rules. This is the rules, okay? That's the next step. Going to configure the rules. On the rule, we have approve and when, okay? The approval over here, anyone approve. Anyone approve. We can select as per your requirement, all users or just anyone. Let's do anyone, so we don't want to be on hold if we don't have that person right there. Great, select the add another or rule set button. So if you want to add that, you can add another, or you can have group. That's all we have. The add another is over here, add another rule or rule sets. That's another way we can add another we can add another or rule set for a given approval. So rule set or approval. Then if it is rejected, how about if it's rejected? Now we can configure the or. This is the or rule. Okay, that was the approval earlier we did. Now for the rejection, what about if it's rejected? Okay, who's going to reject it? Okay, reject when. Let's go ahead and find we have when anyone can reject. Anyone reject. So whenever anyone reject from the social media management group. Now let's go ahead and find that group. This is the group we have, and we can select our group, which is the social media management. See right there, it's auto populated when we just select. Now let's go ahead and done with this. Now we can add another if flow logic option to the same branch. Okay, that's the branch we are there. Now we can add another if, which is the flow logic, and we have right there if the if. We can add the same. Then we can do here the condition. We can add approval. All right, under condition, approval. All right, let's go ahead another condition, which is approval 1 2 2 equals. Okay, what is going to be? Rejected. When approval is rejected, it's going to be rejected. Thank you for catching. Yep, that's the approval equals rejected. So what did this happen is when approval equals rejected, this will happen. Okay, then the two equals is basically to compare an item to another item to determine if they are equal. You have two equals, whereas just a single equal is just a value. In this case, it will not be like saying I am the value of approval set to rejected. But if you have two, just checking the value if they are equal or not. Now we go ahead and drag the approval states. Got approval state data field that correspond with 2.1, which is the approval state, the one we did earlier, the approval states, and we can drop it under the condition over here. Awesome. And with that, we can use a drop in the okay, yep, we drag that approval and we put it under the condition. Now approval state is what? Rejected. When it is rejected, we have that approval over here. When it is rejected, what do we need to do? Okay, let's go ahead and done. All right, now we can select again the one when it is rejected, plus sign to configure the action to flow if the approval is rejected, to make sure that if the approval is rejected, and we're gonna go ahead and write. Okay, let's see here. I've got that one here. If the priority, then Yeah, priorities 2, it's going to ask for approval, and if the approval, that's the one, if the approval is rejected, the approval is rejected, then what will happen? If the approval is rejected, then something will happen. Let's go ahead and add that here. It's going to be a service now. We're going to go ahead and add this one to the right here. Action. All right, a ServiceNow action, ServiceNow core. Now we're gonna go ahead and add updates. Now we're gonna go ahead and update the record. If it is rejected, that's it. It is rejected. Now we're going to update. Great, the ServiceNow core, we have added updates. Now we're gonna have, let's put some annotation. That's our best practice. We need to give it annotation by saying state equals assigned. State equals assigned. That's the annotation we're going to give it. And with the record we have action is update record. And then with the record we have trigger monitor. With the record, let's go ahead and see trigger monitor record, right? Yep, that's monitor record. You just need to drop it as a trigger. We have the monitor record. The table is automatically filled. What is the field we're going to update? The state field. Alright, state. What happened to the states? States is what? Assigned. Go ahead and done. And then, okay, we're done with that. Last but not least, we need to have the end for this one over here. We need to add an end. You can select this one. Okay, go ahead and this, and then add the end. Here we go. That is end. Always add an end because we need to make sure that once you open something, we need to close it. Now we have the flow over here. We can add actions for this one. ServiceNow core, update record. Okay, ServiceNow core, gonna go ahead and find update record. It's going to update record, and now we can go ahead and add monitor record. That's the one. Just gonna pull and drop it here. We have the table is automatically filled. Okay, the field is going to be the state is approved. So we're gonna go ahead and write states. We got the state is what? Approved. Perfect. Let's go ahead and done. And then it's good to do to save it. And next up, we're gonna go ahead and verify our work. Perfect. Let's go ahead and see what we have so far. We have got here ask for approval. God's approval is rejected. If approval is rejected, okay, I think this need to be approval. Yeah, that's right. Approval is rejected. Then once rejected, you go ahead and update the monitor record, and the state will be assigned, and that will end. Then here on the other end we have update monitor record, and don't forget to end this one as well with the flow logic, and go ahead and end it up. Awesome. Okay, I have to save again to make sure that whatever change I made is correct. The next thing we can configure for P3 and P4. That's all we have for today. Feel free to drop your comment below, or you can send me directly at contact at servicenowstar.com. Don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe to our channel to get more new videos. Until we see each other with the next episode, take care.